Hey YouTube, my name's Mike. I'm here in Austin, Texas. As you saw, I left my house, went and washed my bike. I think I just put a picture of that. I've been out of town, so the bike sat home and was dirty. So I took it to the car wash, sprayed it off. Not sure what's up this trail, not sure if it's a legit trail, but I reckon I'm about to find out. It looks like a homeless trail to me. I was going nowhere. We're gonna go to the legit trails. Anyway, I'm starting a YouTube channel here in Austin, Texas. Thinking about doing like the Wild West Texas adventures or anything. Anyway, I've been in Texas about 2.5 years, and some of my people back home probably wondered how I'm doing. I was a pretty popular guy back there with my hiking club. So I'm starting off by just trying to give you guys a quick little overview of what it's like in Austin. Eventually I'll get up here to where you can see the city. But basically, I'm not sure where I want this channel to go. Side of me wants to go into politics and put kind of a positive everyman, all-American spin on that. Being that I had a hiking club for 10 years, I organized, and now I'm a tour guide. Kind of want to do that kind of stuff. Not really intended to make a motorcycle channel, but I got a motorcycle, so I like riding it, so I figured if I'm gonna do YouTube, might as well enjoy it. There's a dam up there. That's Tom Miller Dam. It creates this Lake Austin. There's a little bit of water coming out of it down there. There it is. Tiny bit of water coming out. There it is. Okay, I made it out to the end of Red Bud. We got a college party over here. At least they're providing music for my video. There's some apartments, university housing right behind where those kids are partying. I said it wrong earlier. This is actually Lady Bird Lake. The dam we saw a minute ago contains Lake Austin. So I was kind of on the downstream side of that Tom Miller Dam that contains Lake Austin. There's a cavern up there. Anyway, you wouldn't know it, but there's about 50 skyscrapers just back there. I'd never been out to the end of this island, and I thought maybe you could see them from here, but you can't. So this is the skyline of Austin. The building in the center right now, it's got kind of a point on top. That is Google's sort of new building. They started building it 6 years ago, finished the outside, but only finished half the inside. The tall building on the left, in the center of the screen now, it's been the tallest in the city of Austin for, 2.5 years, 2 years, maybe something like that. But now they're building the taller one over here on the right. It's got the crane on there. If that one on the right here in the center is not taller now, it will be taller. And I think it's taller now. This is just not the best perspective. My name's Mike. I am a tour guide in Austin, among other things. And as a tour guide, I'm required to know which building is the tallest. This is called Lookout Point. It's a really upscale neighborhood. You have to go and access this place. I parked my scooter over there on the street, my motorcycle actually, and man, I hope it's all right. I was getting some stink eye from people. But anyway, right now I'm standing in Zilker Wildlife Preserve, and this exact location is called Lookout Point. And let me turn this rig around here, and I'll show you who I am. So yeah, my name's Mike Middleton. I've been a tour guide for about 7 years. Operated a hiking club for roughly 10 years. Prior to that, I was in the fitness industry, but decided to start a YouTube channel, and definitely going to do some tour guide type content. And I really want to do some adventure stuff too. I've been in Texas a few years, and there's a lot of cool stuff out here in the West. I'm gonna probably take a trip to California on my chopper this winter, and hopefully get videos from that planned trip up on YouTube. The channel I'm making will definitely have like tour guide type content. Part of what I do as a guide is I give tours, part of which one of the tours I do goes through the Capitol building. So I gotta ask the guards if that's allowed, but if it is, I'm gonna do a tour of that amazing building. I think you can see it. I know I can see it, but can you see it through the camera? We'll find out. There it is. That's as much as I can zoom. But the Capitol building is right in just about the center of the screen. It's kind of a earth-colored rotunda there. Looks a lot like the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., the federal Capitol building. And it's actually, the facade on that is sunset red granite. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but there is a Lady Liberty on top, the same entity that's in the New York Harbor, the Roman goddess of liberty. And I'm going to do certainly another video up there, at least around the grounds of the Capitol building. And we'll give you a closer look and tell you a little more about Lady Liberty when we're up close to her. But as you can see, the city of Austin has graffiti here, which I'm not a big graffiti fan, but that's pretty interesting. But they've done an amazing job of preserving green spaces. Let's see. Up here without ripping my pants. There we go. All right. Yeah, the city's blown up, if you didn't know, in the past decade or more with the tech industry. The state of Texas government did a hell of a job of convincing lots of tech companies to move here to Austin. So that's been kind of a thing. I showed up here, it'll be 3 years in November or so. About 2 years and 8 months ago, roughly. It's been pretty good to me. I love my job. I'm a tour guide for a big company. Get to meet people from around the world and basically act like I'm on vacation every day. Turn this thing around, let you look at my mug again. Anyway, I hope I got this gimbal operation down okay. I'm not so sure. Let's see how the gimbal handles this. Hey! In addition to the tour guide stuff, I'm really tempted to go into maybe a little gentle little tiptoe step into political commentary. Because I go through that Capitol building all the time, and I'm pretty good at making myself the center of attention sometimes. And I seem to have done it there where the people that work in the building, the legislators, and certainly the guards, they're getting to know me. So, you know, we'll see if it's legal. Might need a permit, but if so, I'll try it. Either way. But Austin here is a kind of an odd city to be located in Texas, in the sense that it's known for having lots of eccentric residents, and the common slogan is "Keep Austin Weird." But in recent decade or more, in the most recent decade or more, there's been such an influx of new people like me, but most notably from California, and people from all around the world come here for the tech industry. So there's been a little backlash from the native Texans around that, maybe on a cultural level. But basically the tech money's built probably half this town, at least what's happened to it for the past decade. So let me know what you want to do, what you want to see on YouTube. I do have a motorcycle, which I love riding, and wouldn't mind incorporating that. I'll probably just put it in a few places, in a few videos, just like starting off and ending. But I'm not against doing motorcycle content. But I'm going to start with the tour guide stuff, and hopefully, this month I'm going to have some time off, so I'll try to do some adventure, go to some really cool spots I found around Texas, and eventually ramp that adventure end of it up. Is what I had in mind. And as the months and years go on, maybe just do lots of motorcycle rides to big parks and just see what I can find out there in this beautiful United States. Just go do some exploring. Hey, it's Mike again. As promised, I came down here, down the bottom of the hill, and get some close-ups of these skyscrapers. Show you guys the park system here in Austin. Basically, this trail where the lady's riding a bike there and those folks are walking, that runs along this lake here, which is between us and the Google building there. And it goes along the lake for 5 miles on this side of the water. On the other side, it's the same setup. There's 5 miles of trails, and every bridge has a safe, separate pedestrian crossing. Maybe I'll get into some of those details later, but now I came here to show you guys this Google building. From this angle you can't tell, but from a lot of angles you can see the sunlight go through the top, because the upper half is incomplete. But nonetheless, it's a gorgeous building. This curved side here, we saw from a distance, it looked kind of flat, but here you got a nice curve to it. You can see, looks like there's somebody up there maybe cleaning the windows this week. There's some kind of rig up there. I'm doing my best with the camera, so bear with me. So there's that rail that goes along there, right down the center of the screen. And that's actually something that helps the window washers do their thing. But the building's gonna have eventually nap rooms, fitness center, medical clinic, all for the Google staff. And like I said, they started building it 6 years ago, and they won't finish it, man. They hadn't worked on it for 2 years, and half the inside is incomplete. Now, half of it, square footage, is incomplete. So that's about 2/3 of the height, because of the way it tapers. So, the terracing, I don't know if you can pick up from this angle, that was done to fit within the building codes. There's a little bit of the terracing in the shot now. You can only go so high next to the lake, and that flattish side of the building that's closer to us than with all the right angles, it's right next to the lake, and so they had to step it back. They made it as high as they could, as close as they could, I guess, to explain it that way. Let me walk over here. Here we have your basic Jenga building, as it's called. The real name of the building is the independent condominiums, but because of the cantilevers, people have grown to call it the Jenga building. On top of the building is a water tank, that box inside the fence up there. Now that's one of the many features that helps stabilize the building when the wind blows. The water in the tank will slosh around on a windy day and help ease the sway of the building. It also acts as a brilliantly simple part of the fire suppression system. But in addition to the water tank, there's giant struts throughout the building to stabilize it, which are visible in the common spaces to reassure the occupants of the safety. And there's also 8 mega columns that go right up the center that are 20 by 20 concrete. Also helps stabilize it. If you built a straight building, you probably wouldn't need to spend all the extra time and effort with the stabilization features. But then it wouldn't look this cool. So I think it proves itself in that if the distinct look didn't add value, then the building would not exist in this way. The added value of the distinctiveness certainly made it worth building the thing. It opened in 2019. It's condominiums with a couple of restaurants and other gyms and stuff. But basically in the first year, they sold all the condos. So it is a successful build, and we call it the Jenga building. Now another notable feature, we went over the Google building. It's hard to go past that one. It's so nice looking. But anyway, back here is the Austonian condominiums. Now this building was originally designed to look like a cowboy hat on top. And the engineers and the architects couldn't see eye to eye. The engineers didn't want to put the brim up there where that balcony is because they were saying that the wind was going to blow it off and kill somebody, which it may have. In any case, they left the cowboy brim off. If I would have showed up here a few years ago from Virginia and that was a cowboy hat, I probably would have turned my camper around and went down to San Antonio. But this is what I saw. Looks more like a USB plug, so maybe that fits Austin better. And another interesting little part of the story of the building is that a year or so after they opened the building, little chunks of concrete about the size of your hand were falling off from up there at the top. It seems they poured the rebar too close to the edge when they poured it. So if there was a cowboy hat, somebody might have died. Back there is a new building. It's going to be called the Water Line. Let me get around here where you can see the whole thing. So this Water Line building will be the tallest, if it's not already. The one that's been the tallest we saw up there from Lookout Point. Right now it's behind this gaggle right here in the center. So you can't see that one from my perspective. But the water line here is gonna be condos at the top section there. And then below that breezeway, it's gonna be hotels, shopping. There'll be space for professional services like doctors and pharmacies, and certainly all kinds of fancy spa treatments. That neighborhood down there where you see the few other condos about half the size of the water line, that's Rainy Street. It's definitely what I call hyper gentrified. Right here where what's going to be the tallest building in Texas, I believe. It used to be you know, World War II era houses there maybe 10 years ago. And now they've built all these condos, and it's a trendy little little party area. It's not that extensive, but it's pretty cool. Anyway, I guess I better put myself in the shot here, like a real YouTuber would. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I decided to start off with the tour guide stuff because that's what I know. I think I'm doing okay. It's pretty good, easy for me to fill this time, and because I'm just a talker, and hopefully I filled it with something interesting and entertaining. There's more skyscrapers to tell you about, but from this perspective at this park, I've done the most notable ones, and since I'm riding the chopper, then it's kind of hard to film from there. So I'm gonna wrap this one up for the day, and hopefully you learned something and got a decent little perspective on part of Austin, Texas. There's a lot of more depth to the city than what you've seen in one video, so stand by for more. We're gonna keep this thing going. Thanks a lot.